Da'Quan, you're a 7'5" guy. What'll it be like going back down there to play this weekend?
It's an amazing feeling just from being around that area. That way, a lot of my family and friends are able to see me play this Saturday.
Do you know anybody on ODU's roster?
Not off the top of my head, I can't remember anybody.
Okay, I'm curious in your recruiting process when you were first coming out of high school. Was ODU ever an option, or do you ever consider them, or they consider you?
Nah, ODU didn't offer me coming out of high school. My only offer was from Norfolk State.
Being a 757 guy, I mean, you just mentioned it. You didn't have an ODU offer.
Right.
You going into Saturday with a little bit more of a chip on your shoulder?
Every game I go into, it's always a chip on my shoulder. I'm trying to beat the opponent. I don't take it personal. I mean, it's their loss.
What have you liked about the way you guys have kind of found your stride these last two second halves of games offensively?
We came along the second half. We just got to come out in the first half playing better and start fast.
What was your vantage point of Stephen Gallman's, laying out acrobatic catch he had on Saturday?
I love it. Anybody that's part of the program know that's just Steve. He makes those kind of plays. You throw that ball up, Steve gonna come down with it. So it was no surprise. Happy for him and proud of him.
Let's go Colby and then Damien.
What do you remember from your collegiate debut at ODU when Norfolk State almost upset them? I think DeKendall James had over 100 yards in that game where you almost beat ODU after they did all those stadium renovations.
So that was my red shirt year, so I didn't really see the field. But just seeing my guys go off like DeKendall James, like you said, like seeing him go off against ODU and seeing us almost upset him, it's a good feeling. We just got to finish the game.
Does Ali Jennings, obviously now stepping in the wide receiver room and what he did last year against his former team, does he sort of bring anything to this rivalry in the bad boys room?
Just like me, every game Ali goes into, he has a chip on his shoulder. And, of course, this is his old team, so I'm pretty sure he's trying to go in there and dominate them.
Damien.
Juan, this I believe your first time playing in the 757 wearing a road uniform since you've been in college. You were a hometown boy at Norfolk State. Now visiting, is it any different mindset for you going down there?
Not really. I just know I'm going to play this time around. So it's kind of like I'm just going over there ready to dominate with my team and win.
Mose mentioned that a lot of teammates made sure he got tickets for the Vandy game since he's from Nashville. You, APR, Kamari, how many tickets have you guys been able to scrounge up for this one?
I don't know how many I have right now, but all I'm gonna say is all of us guys need a lot. Like definitely, just being from around that town, like everybody trying to collect some tickets.
I wanted to ask you, it seems like everyone in the wide receiver room has contributed in one way or another through the first 2 weeks, whether it's touchdown catch like with you and Ali, Stephen making 2 great catches, Jaylen Lanes yards after catch. What have you guys shown through 2 weeks about all of you guys contributing since, you guys didn't get a chance to play with Ali much last year?
I'll just say in that room, it's a dominant room. We make plays. A lot of playmakers in that room. Just give us the ball and we're gonna make it work.
Let's go Brooke and then Andy and Nels.
Coach just said that when Kyron's at his best, the team is better. Can you expand on that, and especially as a wide receiver, what that means for you?
Just Katie being the QB1. When your QB1's playing at his best, that just motivates the team to go harder. And even if not, the team's still gonna go hard to pick him up because he know we got his back just like he got our back. So it's just motivation.
As an offense, you guys have really turned it on in the second half of games. What can you put your finger on in the first half of why it's just not quite clicking?
We just got to do a good job of getting the playmakers the ball, allowing us to do what we do, and that's really it.
There are so many of you receivers that can make plays out there, and with Ali coming back. Is it sometimes tough to be patient for the ball to come your way? There's only one ball to go around for so many guys.
It's not really a problem with patience. If one eat, we all eat. So if Ali got a lot of catches, I'm cool with it as long as one of us eating. It's like I'm not no selfish person. There's nobody selfish in the room. We all support each other. So obviously it's just one ball, but as long as one eat, we all eat.
Let's go Nels and then
On Saturday, Coach Pry and even Jaylen Lane mentioned, going back to Stephen Gosnell, just how much of an impact he's had on the wide receiver room, especially coming off of that injury in the Military Bowl. What have you seen out of him personally in this comeback, and how, from your perspective, how incredible is it to see him get to this point after that injury last December?
It's a good feeling. Every time I'm getting extra work, I see Steve getting extra work. So just knowing how hard he grinded from that injury and to see him turn around and see it all coming together, I mean, I'm really proud, and it's good to see.
Quan, last year you were the deep ball threat on the offense. You and Kyron hooked up many, many times. This year, although smaller sample size, he seems to be throwing the deep ball better and more efficiently. What have you seen from him in terms of his ability to throw the deep ball more accurately and more on target this year?
He worked during the offseason, working on his deep ball. So I'll say just seeing the transition from last year to this year and seeing him working during the offseason, that's kind of what transpired that.
David and then Damon.
Yeah, we haven't had a chance to ask you, but what does it mean to you to be a captain on this team?
It's a great feeling, just being able to lead the team by example, motivate the guys, because obviously it's going to be ups and downs, and just being a guy, kind of the guy that people depend on. I mean, it's a good feeling.
As one of the leaders on this team, what did you like about how the team responded last week after a setback in week 1?
It was a good feeling just to come out with the win, but we still have work to do, and we will get that work done.
What's the group's mentality heading into this Saturday?
Build on the win last week against Marshall, correct the corrections we need to get corrected, and just come out and play our ball.
I believe they asked you about your vantage point of Stephen Gosnell's catch. What was your vantage point of Jaylen Lane's punt return touchdown, and just to catch that in traffic, shut a guy grabbing him by the face mask and taking it to the house?
So I'm actually on punt return, so I kind of seen the defenders running at him, but I didn't see his hand go up, so I'm like, okay, he finna grab this. He grabbed it, he started breaking tackles, and Jaylen just do what Jaylen do, and he made the play.
Anything on Zoom for Quan?
Any final questions for Da'Quan Felton on Zoom? All right, Travis.
Anything else for Quan in the room? Thanks, Quan.
All right, thank y'all.